Hi, and welcome back to Keep Smiling with Larry Rifkin. I'm Larry Rifkin. How are you? I've been asked several times in the past, what's the difference between religion and spirituality? Or how can you be spiritual if you're a religious person? Or something along the line of, what's the difference between religion and spirituality? And there are a lot of differences. And today I'd like to take the time to explore some of those differences and define them in my own way and how I feel about them. Um, there are many distinctions between spirituality and religion, um, and they unnecessarily separate the two. It becomes one or the other, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that. But if we look at the major facets of religion or of spirituality, one really focuses on the negative, being punished, uh, paying our dues, the rewards of an afterlife. All of that really falls under religion, and one focuses on the positive, where we are, where we're coming from, connecting to the divine within us, connecting to the God within us. We're at a very amazing time right now in both worlds. Religious world, we're in the process right now of electing a new pope. The conclave is in the process right now. We're waiting for the white smoke or the black smoke to come up. It's an important time in a religious world right now. It's an important time. It's always an important time in our spiritual world. And again, I'm looking at the religions that I'm mostly familiar with, and I look at the religions that are most common: Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism, all of those religions that are based in the Western Hemisphere. And I'm not necessarily talking about Eastern type of religions, might be Taoism, might be Buddhism, but I'm focusing mostly on the religious aspects that we have here in the Western Hemisphere. Couple of the differences between the two, and if we can list them, and then I'll go through a lot of the differences on each one. But religion always tries to exert control, to instill morality, to stroke your ego. And you're always separated from the divine through somebody else. Whether it's a clergy, whether it's a priest, whether it's a rabbi, it doesn't matter. You're always a step away from the divine. There's always an intermediary. And it kind of removes us, because of that intermediary, one step away from connecting to the divine. Spirituality is born within the person. And it can be kick-started through religion. It absolutely can be. Probably in most cases it is. Or through circumstances, or through something that happened that brought us on our path, on our spiritual path, on our spiritual journey. Spirituality extends to all facets in our life. It's not just a relationship. Spirituality connects us to all facets of our life. Spirituality is a path or a journey that is usually chosen by the person. They make a choice to be on that path, to be on that journey, and to explore that journey, and to grow and to aspire in that. Religion really is more something that was forced on us since the time that we were born. We were brought into a religion that our family believed in, that our ancestors believed in, that our heritage was revolving around. But it's something that you really didn't have a choice with. In most cases, you were born into a family that was Protestant. That's their value system. That's what they look for in what they're doing. That's where you're going. Spirituality is much more of an individual journey, an individual path. Spirituality is found deep within us. For me, personally, I still believe in religion, I still believe in God, but spirituality is more important to me because spirituality involves me learning and practicing on a journey of coming from a place of love, of kindness, of compassion, of connecting me with the divine within me. Um, it's a way of loving, of accepting, of relating to the world around us and to people that are around us. So spirituality, I think, boils down to being more of an individual journey and an individual path, and religion is more of a community path or a path that involves a lot of other people. Couple of the differences, or some of the differences that I can illustrate easily between religion and spirituality. Number one, religion. There are hundreds of religions out there. There is all types of different ways of connecting with the divine. You can go back to religions that have been around on the planet for thousands and thousands of years, and other religions that just pop up every now and then, and every again comes up, and there's a new religion. Spirituality is really a spiritual path of getting to know ourselves on the inside, connecting with the divine within us. Religion continues to work around rituals and formalities. Spirituality is about finding ourselves without the dogma. People say, and people have said, and you can read in articles, religion is for people who are asleep and place their trust in something else, when spirituality is for people who are awakening and realize that the divine is within us, that peace is within us, that happiness is within us, that we can be better people. There is always in religion guidance from somebody else. You have an intermediary that will guide you, whether it's a father, a priest, whatever it is. There's always an intermediary out there and that is guiding us. Spirituality tends for us to really listen to our inner voice and hear our inner voice. Spirituality, the rules, no, religious, the rules are unquestionable. They are what they are, and they are written down. And there is no questioning it. These are what are written down. This is what it is, and this is the way that it happened, and this is what you have to believe. There's no going from it. Spirituality is more about reasoning for it all. Religion seems to focus a lot on sin or fault or finding the difference between right and wrong. Spirituality is about living in the present, not being shackled to something from our past. Religion is something that we've been brought into and explored and learned about since our childhood. Spirituality is something that we seek. It's very important. We choose to seek it. We choose the path that we're on, when we want to take that path, and to further ourselves and to ascend on that path, to grow on that path. Religion says that we are not God. That God is this outside force and we go through these steps. Spirituality, we look at it that the God, the divine, whatever word you want to use, is within us. It's tapping into that. Um, Religion invents. Spirituality discovers. We discover ourselves. We discover our truth. We discover our beauty, all of that. We discover ourselves. Religion cannot question. It is what it is. It's set in stone. God, almost verbatim, it is set in stone. Spirituality questions everything. We question everything. It's about wonder. It's about amazement. We question everything in spirituality. Religion is based on a principle of laws. And these are the laws that are set, and these are the laws that are within. Spirituality is connecting to the divine without rules, without laws, without any way of telling us it's right or it's wrong, or it's good or it's bad. It's connecting with the divine within us. Spirituality, and this is one of my biggest issues, I think, with religion and with why I've chosen a path of spirituality. Religion always divides us. There are so many religions out there, and if you're not part of my religion, you're not right. Or even within a religion, there are so many different facets and factors or groups within a particular religion, and the Orthodox are the only ones that are doing it right, and the conservatives are not, or the reforms are not. There's so much division that comes around in religious life and things along that type of line. Spirituality is about union. It's about connecting. It's about connecting within ourselves. It's about connecting to the divine within us. And it's about connecting to our situation, to the world around us, to the people around us. It's about connecting. Religion feeds our ego. Spirituality makes you transcend ego. You're giving that part away. You're not focusing on the I, the ego. You are transcending that, and that's a very important thing. Religion's about adoration. Spirituality is about meditation. We meditate, we still our minds. We try to silence the clutter in our heads that's going around. We meditate, we still ourselves, we listen, we look for the signs, we observe the signs, we do all of that. Religion is about the psychology of a template, and it's whether it's this template or this template or this template, it's about the template, and you have to fit within that template. Spirituality is about individualism. It's about being ourselves. It's about recognizing that we are perfect, just the way we are, just where we are and how we are. This is something that's very important. Religion has dreams of glory and of a paradise waiting to happen and waiting to go to. When we go to heaven, it's this paradise. Spirituality is about realizing the paradise is here and now. That we make our world and we live in our world. And if we want to live in paradise, it's here and now, in this moment. It's not something that we wait for a later time. It's not a reward or a carrot on a stick that's being put in front of us that if you do this, and this, exactly this way, you're going to get to it. Spirituality, we have it now. Religion lives in our thoughts, in our mind. Spirituality lives in our conscious. Our conscious is what guides us in a spiritual path and on a spiritual journey. It is our conscience that guides us along this. Religion is in charge of the to-do list. You have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. Religion is the to-do this, to eat this, to do this on Fridays, to do this on this day. Spirituality is in charge of the to-be list. Not to do, to be. I want to be happy. I want to be peaceful. I want to live in paradise. And recognizing that we do now and have that ability, and don't have to wait for some period of time or going through all these challenges, all these obstacles, all these hierarchies, so that someday down the road we can be in paradise. Spirituality is about recognizing that paradise is here and now and within us. This is an important factor. Religion is about eternal life. That's what they talk about. Spirituality is about the consciousness of all that is now, in the future, in the past, but we live in the spiritual world, on a spiritual journey. We live in the here and now. We are not tied to what happened to the past. We are not sitting and worrying about what's going to happen in the future. We live in the here and now. And all of that is very important. Religion is confined to our memory. Think about that. Everything about religion is confined to our memory. This is what we've been taught. This is what we've been taught for our whole life. This is what our ancestors have been taught for generations. It's what's been taught for thousands of years. Spirituality is about the liberty in awareness. And we're always aware of our current surroundings, the people that are in our lives, the situations that are going in our lives, and all of this. We're aware of this now and here. And this is what we focus on. We focus on following a spiritual path. When I say we, I'm talking about people following a spiritual path. And what we focus on being the best person we can be. We focus on connecting with the divine within us. We focus on the here and the now. Not a reward down the road if we jump through all these hoops, and not for punishment from something in the past. We're not tied to the past, and we're not tethered to the future. We do look towards the future, but we experience and we live in the here and the now. Religion gives you promises of an afterlife. And this is important. This is very important to some people. If we want to get to this afterlife, to this Garden of Eden, to this place of paradise, this is how we follow it. Spirituality is revolving around the light to find God or the divine or the purpose in our inner self, in this life, in the present, in the moment of here and now. Now, having said all that, there are a lot of differences between a religious life and a spiritual life. Does that mean that they have to be mutually exclusive? In my opinion, for what it's worth, and I can only speak for me, it does not. I believe that the two can complement each other and can work with each other. I personally have a religious background that I still believe in and I still have some faith in. Yet, spirituality is much more important to me because in spirituality and following my spiritual path, again, I realize that I have control over my future. I realize that there isn't any punishments from the past of my past actions or anything along that type of line, or a promise for something that may come in the far future. Live within the here and now. Now, how do we reconcile these two and how do we bring these two together? Well, being in a religious experience, you are connecting with the divine, even though it's through an intermediary, whether it's, again, the priest, the father, the rabbi, the monk, whatever it is, as opposed to controlling it ourselves. So I do believe that we can be a religious person and have a religious foundation, which I think I do because of my upbringing, because of my background, and because of what I was taught from my family, my parents, and culture, and all of that. And I can still embrace my spirituality and grow with it and within it and bring myself out to connecting with the divine within me and finding out that I'm on a path to make myself the best person that I can be and trying, not always succeeding, but always trying to come from a place of loving, compassion, passion, and happiness, and know that that's all within me. So I do believe that there is room for both in our lives. With me, there is absolutely room for both. I tend to fuel the flames of my spiritual journey, my spiritual path, because that is an experience that I am learning and growing with right now. I hope this was something that you can use. Do come to the website, come and explore the website, subscribe to it. Give us your opinions. Give us your opinions on this show. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know how you feel about that. And until next time, have a wonderful week. And remember, always keep smiling.